remember the life there. What I can tell about the people there, they are really peace people. They don't hate the Arabs. We had friends, Arabs, coming to my home with their children. And the situation is changed when Gaza was left and the Hamas took the leadership there. What can I tell about the kibbutz? On the 7th of October, I was at home. I had the bombing, so I found the kibbutz, and there was a very strange situation. They could get talks from outside. They couldn't get out talks, so they couldn't talk between themselves. And I talked to about 10 of my friends there, and I knew, even I was about 70 kilometers from there, I knew more than every one of them, because they didn't know. Everyone was closed in his security room, and they couldn't speak with each other. All the communication was with people like me that talked to them, and we had a very serious problem, more problem, what to tell them, what not to tell them, what can I be, what is good to tell number one, that number two is killed or kidnapped or something like that.
Yeah.
That's that was. The kibbutz lost about 14 people and 5 were kidnapped. It's a gift, like in comparison to kibbutz near Oz, where 73 people were kidnapped and 30 were killed, in a kibbutz of 400 people. So 1/4 of the kibbutz was either kidnapped or killed in near Oz. The family we represent here a tent that represents the kidnapped people of Nahal Oz. There were 5 people kidnapped. One old woman, 84 years old, she came almost dead. She got no medicines there, and when she came, her pulse was 40, and the temperature, you are
Let me
American.
just clarify, she was kidnapped and then she was released.
Yes.
And she came
She
back.
came back. They released some children and
Other people.
so her temperature was 28 Celsius degrees. So it's very low.
They were holding horrible conditions.
The two girls that came back had no family. The father and mother were killed here. They killed the father and the mother. They kidnapped 2 girls, 14 and 8, and they came back. They came back home. What is home? No, I don't know what is home. And there are 2 men here that were kidnapped. One of them, Omri, was kidnapped alone when he he came out to defend his family with weapon, and his family is secure. The wife and the 2 children. They are now at Kibbutz Kramim. They were adopted by the kibbutz. The other one, Tzachi, is 48 years old. His eldest daughter was killed before his eyes. He was kidnapped, and his wife and 2 other children were left in Israel now. And the connection is that his mother was his mother, so the grandmother of the children is our good friend, and she's fighting to bring him back. That's the condition now. We are, thanks God, we have only 2 kidnapped people. We have persons, we don't know what happens to them. The other three will come back, and we know who was killed. There were two families that were the parents were killed. This family, only one child was killed. Another family, two children and the parents were killed, and one boy, 14 years, was saved. He went to run his morning exercise at the age of 14, and someone saw him and got him into a safety room, not in his home, but at the home of the caregiver. So he was saved, the only one from the family. I was the doctor and I cared for his mother. His mother was at the age of my middle daughter, with the same class. That's what I can tell you, because I really, that's what I know. And we have a good connection with all the people there. They are all adopted by kibbutz Mishmar HaEmek. They treat them very well. Really, there are some families, some young families, some very old people, some people who need special care, and the adopting kibbutz is taking care of them very, very well.
So you guys, yesterday we were asking you not to publish the faces and what the soldiers had to say and everything. Today we want you to put it on social media because the world needs to know. So feel free to take videos. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you.
תודה רבה, דוקטור. תודה רבה. I want to get my picture with these, Kelly. They go Kelly.
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
can get it for you.
Okay.
You want it right after?
Okay. After.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Boker Tov. My name is Eitan. I am Romi's father.
Romy
I ha-
or Roni?
Romy.
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 Mem. Okay, then. Okay.
Romy, I have 5 kids. Romy is the sandwich, number 3. She's 23 years old. And she was attending the Nova Festival, okay, at Reim. And she was a professional dancer. She attended many parties, many festivals in Israel and also abroad. She went there with her best friend Gaia, and the story begins at Saturday, 7th of October at 6:30 in the morning when she called us. And she woke us up. Of course, it's a Saturday morning, and she was calling me and she said, "Dad, I've been shot." And we knew she's in this festival, but we didn't know exactly where is the location because she was attending many festivals. I said, "I think that you told me that you are in a festival. How come you are being shot in a festival?" And then she started telling us that thousands of rockets coming from Gaza, basically pouring from Gaza on them. And you should know that there were more than 4,000 people in this festival. And they didn't have any chance to hide unless they were lying on the floor and start praying. And for more than 4 hours, she was online with us from 6:30 until 10:55 in the morning, when she was calling me, her mother, and her older sister. And all this time, we were online with her, praying that she will be safe. She was hiding in bushes and exchanging bushes, one bush to another bush to a third bush, hiding, and we didn't know in the beginning that there are terrorists even, only rockets from Gaza. And then we started hearing shooting on the phone. And and the shooting came closer and closer, and basically she asked us not to talk and just whisper while speaking with her, because the terrorists were very close. In one stage at 10:15, she called me again and she told me, "Dad, there is an angel that came with a car, and we are in his car, me and Gaia, and he knows how to run from here, escape, because he did it already twice. He basically saved 12 people's lives. He went by his car, driving to Be'er Sheva, which is like 25 miles from there, 2 times. And he's a friend of Gaia. And Gaia sent him from the bushes a location and asking him, without knowing that he was already doing 2 times to Be'er Sheva, can you come and save us? And he came the 3rd time from Be'er Sheva. I don't know how he came directly to the bush, because there were terrorists all over. He managed to come and arrive to the exact bush they were hiding. And then my daughter called me again at 10:15. She said, okay, we are in a car with a guy named Ben Shimoni, and we know how to escape from here. While being online with us, we heard the shooting. The terrorists were shooting at this car for hundreds, I believe, of bullets. And we heard that Ben Shimoni and Gaia Khalifa were murdered online. And my daughter was sitting in the back seat. Behind Gaia, she was shot in the hand. I believe most of you, or all of you, are parents, and you know when you hear your daughter or your son terrified on the phone. Before the shooting came, they picked another hitchhiker, because there were thousands of kids running all over, and they had another seat, vacant seat next to Romy, my daughter, and they just invited another guy to sit next to Romy, and then the terrorists attacked them. And we didn't know his name even, because he was like a hitchhiker, okay? And he listened to the phone conversation, and he started shouting his name, because we didn't know his name. And basically, now we know that three out of 4 in the car are murdered. The first, Ben Shimoni and Gaia were murdered immediately. Ofir Tzarfati, if you heard the name, his body was brought from Gaza back to Israel. He's the only one that his body was brought from Gaza to Israel after 57 days. So I can call myself lucky, because Romy is the only person in this car that is still alive, but she's badly wounded in the hand. For the first 16 days after the kidnap, we didn't know anything about Romy. She was missing. After 16 days, the army came, and my daughter is not a soldier, okay? Here, all the kidnapped people are, the army is taking care of them, which is not even logical. But in Israel, it's logical. And the army came and said, okay, we can declare Romy as a kidnappee instead of missing. We don't know how, and we don't know what is the intelligence behind it, but now we know from day number 17, we know she's a kidnappee, but we didn't know if she's alive or dead. Running fast forward to day number 57, and we heard that she's alive.
Thank God.
Thank God. You can imagine how a father or a mother or a sister or a brother can manage for 57 days without knowing if the daughter or the sister is alive or not. The people that came from the same tunnel with Romy that were released 12 days ago, they were with Romy in the same tunnel. And when they were released, they updated the army and everybody that they saw Romy and she is alive. This is why we know that she is alive. And today is the day number 64, and we're still waiting. We don't know exactly what is the shape of the hand. I believe it's the left hand. We don't know exactly. And the family that was with Romy, they said for sure that she's mistreated. For sure. She's badly wounded, but she's mistreated. But she's alive. And we hold on to this information. And we are here, all the family, for every day in this square, waiting for news. Hopefully, good news.
And we wait with you.
Thank you.
And we stand with you.
Thank you.
And we came from America. I started out with 90 people, 2 buses. We load them up for a Hanukkah tour.
Yeah.
And so then came the war. And some people went away from the tour. But all these stayed. And everyone says, why did you do it? Well, we have to do it. We have to do it. We have to stand with Israel. God's chosen people. And we are with you.
Thank you very much.
Very much with you. And we have a wide audience in America,
Good.
thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And we definitely will make your stories, your heartbreaking accounts known to many, many people
Yeah.
and praying people. We thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
Dr.
If you have
Doctor.
questions, something.